RIOT Podcast. I'm so hungry, guys.
So hungry for more podcasts.
So hungry.
But also probably hungry for food.
Yeah, and I think I'll go lay down for a little while.
You seem very ready to usher in the weekend, even though we are one day from being able to do that.
You know what? I'm struggling, okay? I'm struggling. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to hold it together.
And that's fine. I mean, you're not like losing it, but you're just ready. And that's nice to see. You're ready to go.
That's how we should really look at it. Obadiah's prepared.
Yeah, you're excited.
In advance. Prepared in advance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't that great?
You're pre-planning for tomorrow's feelings right now.
Exactly that. So in the podcast today, we get into what's new with The Simpsons. Kingdom Hearts 3 makes another appearance, probably its last.
We always say that.
Right, but this is the last one until the next one. We talk about the Crocs and how much money you would spend for a pair to wear.
If you want a Croc bag.
Yeah. What we should buy, World War Z, stair machines, dishwashing senators, mice and milkshakes. Ooh, that's another good title of mice and milkshakes.
Because Obi said when he was titling these things, the
mouse and the milkshake.
Yeah, like sounds like a children's book or something.
Yeah. So, well, we hope you guys enjoy the podcast. A couple things to keep in mind. Remember, Valentine's Day coming up. The RadioU bear is a thing. You know,
if you want to find what we have to offer through shop.radiou.com, might be a couple of cute things for Valentine's Day.
And if you only listen to the podcast, just remember we're part of a much larger family of things at RadioU, and you can download our RadioU app where you will be able to hear not only us, but then we've got just RadioU. Oh, that was kind of minimizing. We've got RadioU.
I was going to say we have us, and then I was going to say, and we have other people.
Yeah, there's
just other people.
But then you've also got side channels. So if you wanted to listen to nothing but hip hop or nothing but dance, or I host our throwback channel, which is some old school stuff. So
it's fun to go check that out because you don't get music with this podcast, but we have music that always goes with our show, so you can experience more.
App is totally free, so put it on your phone, put it on your tablet, all that sort of thing. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk at you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Send your complaints regarding that worst of the riot moment to Fire Obadiah at RadioU.com.
I want to say good morning to Justina. She said, when I worked at the bank, they really did send emails like that to see if you would click on stuff.
Just to test you.
And then tell us later how many people failed the test.
Aww.
Hey, that's a pretty good way to learn, though, right?
I know, but it's just tempting, I think, for certain people.
Yeah, well, you want to know, like, what are they talking about? I want to click this. I think I just won $10,000.
Maybe.
So, Nikki,
I used to
ready?
watch The Simpsons.
You're coming back. They know you
I've been gone for too long.
Nope. They know you're coming back because The Simpsons is always
still there.
It's evergreen.
No, it used to kind of be that show, like a lot of people now, like Friends has had a resurgence of like the show you just pop on and watch, even though it's so old. Mm-hmm. For Simpsons, it used to kind of be like that show for me, but it's not even that anymore.
It's just gone.
It's just gone.
You're just done
off
with
my radar.
Well, you know what, Nikki? The Simpsons has been renewed for seasons 31 and 32.
32? Oh, they're committed.
They got a 2-season renewal out of it.
I wonder what numbers it still pulls in.
I have no idea, but they do say that when season 32 closes, they will have produced 713 episodes. The Simpsons is currently the longest-running primetime scripted show in history. It passed up Gunsmoke, because Gunsmoke only had 29 seasons.
Ironically, was my other go-to.
You're always watching Gunsmoke.
I've never seen Gunsmoke.
Gunsmoke is, I believe, a Western?
It sounds like it. It's got guns and smoke, so it must be.
Yeah, let's see. Gunsmoke. It's available on CBS All Access.
Oh, there we go. Woo! There's a reason to get that.
Gunsmoke is a Western. It premiered September 10th, 1955. Its final episode, March 31st, 1975.
That's an old one.
You know what we should do? We should show this to Sydney, because Sydney is always looking for a CBS drama to stream.
No, but that'd only be if she likes the NCIS and the acronym ones. That'd only be if Gunsmoke meant something else.
We'll call it GS.
Yeah, then maybe.
Have you seen GS? Have you been streaming that?
It's this Western drama.
Yeah, or we could call it GSE. Gunsmoke, but it's just got E at the end. And
That might go better.
she was like, what? I'm like, yeah, it's about an investigative unit in a small town.
I think with Fox, so they realize, like, it maybe pulls in more money. The more you make, not for, like, its initial airing, but I wonder if that just adds to the
Syndication numbers.
of it. Yeah, like, I mean, you're 30-something years into it. Why not keep going?
I think there's probably something to that. It's Simpsons the this and Simpsons the that.
And the merchandise still, like, they must make a ton of money from the...
Do they?
Well, yeah, I'm sure they still do.
Who's buying it?
There's tons of stuff, and there's... Is that not convincing?
You're not selling me on the idea of people buying it.
Like, remember a few years ago, they had, like, the 7-Eleven thing, and the...
Okay, yeah,
They got
right.
the Simpsons Legos and the donut stuff and the this and the that. There's tons of merchandise for it.
You don't think that screams like desperate promotion?
No,
but instead it's swagger,
still something,
confidence.
Still something there. I'd kill for that Simpsons house, the Lego house.
Who do you think you'd kill? If I found somebody that owned it, would you kill them and take it?
Figure of speech.
Okay, because those were your words. I'll just tell you, if you're listening right now and you've got the Simpsons Lego house, hide it,
Like,
because Nikki is willing to murder you and take it.
It was always way too expensive. Like, I don't even know what it still costs, but I'm sure it's a lot. But I always wanted that Simpsons house.
Let's see, Simpsons. I think it's like $300, right?
Oh, that was a long time ago. I'd say maybe $100.
Simpsons Lego house, $135 on eBay.
Yeah.
If you want to buy it new from Walmart, $429.
Ooh, why is it so much?
Your life's not worth that.
That's not worth it
I'll
at all.
take your life and I'll take your Lego house.
You can buy an actual house for some of that. Might need some work.
No, you know what? You give it to somebody and you're like, this is the tiny house you always wanted.
Ooh,
Zing.
you're making a statement.
Zing.
But that's too much money.
Okay. All right. Well, people like it. And you're right. It came out 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. So
still popular in the merchandise side.
Wait, look, Mike is texting. He says that his father-in-law has watched every episode ever and plays the Simpsons game on his tablet.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Well, then you got a fan right there.
Jerome says we had cable, and some weekends we would just leave FXX on when they were marathoning the Simpsons.
Marathon one?
You know how it is. You got a little feed bag next year on your neck. You just eat a little, sleep a little, watch some more.
Who doesn't have those weekends? Don't be embarrassed of those.
Man, stand proud. Come on.
You'd think that after all these years of hearing me make fun of the riot, people would have stopped listening by now. Maybe it's one of those can't stop staring at a train wreck situations. It's the Riot on Radio U.
So yesterday we were talking about Red Dead Redemption 2. It sold 23 million copies as of like sometime last week.
And I think you mentioned 11 million was like around its release day.
On release day.
It's a lot. That's a lot of money.
So you don't want to be a punk, but I'm contextualizing a little bit here. Kingdom Hearts 3, which has been out for a week now, a little more than a week, it sold 5 million copies, which, by the way, is good.
I mean, it's been a while, and I feel like they got some of their audience who had played it when maybe younger. But
It's
I mean,
like
you're talking
13 years between games.
between it. So I feel like it's hard to just automatically assume if that was that gaming company. Like, no, of course, if you played Kingdom Hearts when you were a kid, you would go back and play it again. They needed to really work on finding a new audience.
You are definitely going to be playing this.
When I don't think that's necessarily the case.
Yeah. They lost me, dude.
You lasted one day with it, and then you just sold it.
Day and a half.
No, a day. You got it on a Tuesday afternoon.
And played it.
And when did you decide to sell it?
Wednesday night.
So Tuesday.
Okay, technically
that's a day.
26 hours.
That you lasted one day with it.
Okay, you're right. It was 2 gameplay sessions, and after a while, you're like, you know what? I'm just going to go back to Odyssey. I'm fine.
You just don't have room for it.
Yeah, so, the bummer for the people at Square Enix is that they sold 5 million copies. It could have been 5 million and one, but I sold mine.
Well, it still counts for. Oh yeah, because the person bought yours and not that. So you think that's a disappointing number for them for the release? 5 million copies is still a lot.
You know what? They haven't said yet. Though they're in general, Square Enix, they say that they're in a decline right now. Well, I don't know. Okay. Square Enix is ridiculous. I feel like they just have unrealistic expectations. They put out a new Tomb Raider game. It sells like 4 or 5 million copies, and they're like, oh, it's not very good.
It's like, what do they think it should do if that's not good enough?
Right. Like at one point, they thought their Tomb Raider reboot, like they were thinking it would sell like 15 million copies or something, and it was like, bro, this is not a Mario game. Like, you ain't going to sell 15 million copies of Lara Croft. It's a great game. I loved it. But let's get realistic, okay?
It's not as big of an audience.
Yeah, it's just not. And, with Kingdom Hearts, I don't know. I'll be curious to see, I was out on it, but I've seen a lot of people that are really into it. And so I'm just curious, one, if you're an old school, like faithful Kingdom Hearts fan, would you stick with it? And two, like, can they pull in a new audience? Because, I will say, it's got all those Pixar movies in it.
Yeah.
And it's got Frozen in it and Big Hero 6. So, like, it's very recent Disney stuff. But, can you get new people? Because I'll tell you what, I played the other games. I still don't know what's going on. I don't know the overall story. I have no idea.
It was just too much.
something heartless. Something.
Well, I guess you guys let us know. But every time we talked about Kingdom Hearts 3, there'd be a few people who'd be still holding that Kingdom candle, but it kind of is gone.
Hey, 5 million copies
is a lot, yeah,
but maybe not to them.
It's mostly 5 million people who had pre-ordered it years ago. So, could you have gotten them now to do that?
I don't know. I was one of those people, and I was iffy going in, and I had just gotten such a good deal on it that I just
why
was
not
like,
try it?
Let's try it. And no, I'm out.
It's the radio equivalent of going to McDonald's and ordering a fish fillet. Hey, that's one of my favorite things from McGee's. The worst of the riot on RadioU.
So you got any plans to visit a theme park this summer?
Anytime soon?
Anything big? Maybe sell a kidney, go to Disney? Now that...
Is that not like a tagline?
Come on, right now.
Gosh.
Okay? Like...
It works!
And that just
sell a kidney, go to Disney.
That just rolled off the tongue, right?
Woo! Travel agent.
How much money did I just make? I got to get that trademarked fast. And sell a kidney, come to Disney. You come to our special clinic, we'll remove your kidney, and then we'll put you right on Space Mountain. No
right
problem.
To Disney.
No problem, okay? So
sometimes your mind just gets blown with it's a sad statement, but yet it's so true because it's so much money.
Think about your body. What do you have two of? Couple things, right?
What you don't have is 2 tickets to Disney.
The thing is, you don't even, we'll take a kidney. You don't even know it's there.
Why do I want to go to Disney?
Why do
I want to go to Disney? Some people really like it, but when it gets down to the very bottom of it, why?
This is the last time we're going to see Nikki alive, and I want you to know, Nikki.
I'll say it. I'm not scared.
I appreciate all the years that you've been here, the work you've done, the friendship that you've shown in this room.
But that's too much.
And I'm going to give a moving monologue at your funeral. We're going to have some fun. All right.
Just don't let them take my kidneys.
They're taking everything.
They're taking everything.
Yeah. You don't ask questions like that. You don't say, why do I...
I feel like people sometimes
oh
feel...
Oh, my gosh!
Sometimes people feel pressured like you have to go to Disney.
Take it back, Nikki! Take it back!
No, all right, I'm done. I won't say anymore.
They're here! They're gonna get you! Oh my gosh! I'm sorry for what she said!
She didn't know any better.
She's on cold medicine, I think! I was just gonna tell you that there is a traveling, quote-unquote, amusement park that you could spend some time with this summer.
Aren't the traveling ones the one we're normally supposed to be worried about? Because I went on one of those Ferris wheels in the mall parking lot.
Did you really?
Oh, I thought, we just drove past and it was like, oh, it's a Ferris wheel.
From one death-defying item to another, taunting Disney, and now those Ferris wheels.
The light bulbs around it, none of them worked to light the thing, and it was just very precarious. Very dangerous.
I can't.
So is it a Halo one? Or?
It is.
Okay.
Halo Outpost Discovery.
Officially,
Yeah.
Licensed?
It's going to be in Orlando. It's going to be in Philadelphia. It's going to be in Chicago. It's going to be in Houston. It's going to be in Anaheim. And
that's a Disney right there. They're
Yeah.
going after the Disney crowd.
Yeah, they are. Well,
They're
they
hoping
figure
you're going to get confused and go into that parking lot.
Well, they figure they're going to get some people that are going to get rejected from that Disney kidney thing, and they can just go on over the Halo experience and it'll be fine. So they say there will be all kinds of virtual reality experiences, opportunities to play Halo, which is just going to end up being the Halo that you could buy at home.
Let's keep listening.
Okay, sorry.
Anything else?
All right. It'll allow you to step into this setting like never before with immersive themed attractions, interactive in-universe encounters, the latest playable game releases, and so much more.
So it seems less like the mall parking lot amusement park setup and more like a virtual reality one.
I think it's going to be a mall parking lot setup.
It will,
I
but
mean, there may
mostly
not
virtual
be.
reality.
They'll be like, look, you know, there's a Halo ring. We've got the Halo ring Ferris wheel.
Oh, it's not as good as the Disney. Kidney Disney. I think that was where we really hit the top.
You peaked early. Peaked early. So I don't know. I don't know how much it's going to cost, but I can tell you this right now. Let's see. I'm looking right now. I'm looking for it to come up here. Oh.
What?
Oh, my gosh.
What?
Okay.
Don't just make those sounds and not tell us. How much is it going to be?
Okay.
Wait, we're ready. What?
All right. Just for a day.
What?
It's $60.
No, it's not. Why? It's an old game.
If you want a VIP ticket, $140.
That's more than to get into Disney. That's more than to get into the Disney park.
And I'll tell you this right now. See if this fits. Give a kidney, get a Halo Outpost Discovery.
Doesn't roll off quite the same.
Not quite. It's not
Do we have
quite the
another
same
body
as it.
part, or is that the big one?
I just feel like that's the one that you can have one. I mean, you want to, but you can have one.
Okay, well let's keep workshopping. But either way, I don't want to do any of it. It's so much money. $140 for an older game that's been around for a long time.
Nikki, they want to bring it back.
That's not how you do it. It should have been free. It needs to be free, and it can be brought to you by any sort of sponsorship you want to push at us, but it needs to be free.
Brought to you by Ben Gay. When your arthritis pain is acting up,
Okay, now that's a wrong sponsorship.
and you want to play Halo.
That's not for the target audience.
Icy hot. Are you sure?
Actually, that might work.
Some have said that if you just keep listening to the Riot, you'll learn to love them. Has that really worked for anybody yet? Has anyone tested that? It's the Riot on RadioU.
Yes.
Listen, my Crocs are starting to wear out.
Yeah, you never worn a pair of Crocs, have you? Or did you have one?
No. Okay, I'd say no offense, but some of you are going to get offended because you wear Crocs probably. And, it's fine if that's the choice that you want to make. But I don't wear them. The only place that I feel like, no, I'm going to take that back. Just say, I see nurses wearing Crocs, but my thing is, you guys are dealing with sharp objects and bodily fluids. I want something that completely encases my foot.
Well, someone has to tell me. So if you wear them, it's kind of a split thing. We've read a lot of articles where, half the world who wears Crocs says that they're very comfortable and they're good for your feet. And then you got other studies showing the other half that they're actually terrible. So you might see nurses or people that are on their feet a lot would wear them, but some say that they're not actually very good for your feet. So it's kind of divided.
Well, which one do you think it is, Nikki? Are they good for you?
Sometimes what could be good for you.
Just because it's good for you doesn't mean it's good for you.
So I've never been able to wear them just because of the look of them. But they've had a resurgence.
They're so ugly, I couldn't possibly put them on my feet.
No, let's blame my foot. Let's blame my foot and my body style. I can't pull them off.
That's a good call. We've been blaming Nikki's feet for the smell in here. This is just one more thing that they have to bear.
That's one more problem. But
Nikki's feet are so big, they don't make Crocs that'll...
Why are you being... What is wrong with you? Why do you say that? I mean, they're not big.
What? What's wrong?
Aw, you're mean.
What? You know what? You're right. I said we wouldn't talk to people about how big they are. And so I'm really sorry.
No. It's very sad to me.
I'll tell you what.
They're a little wide, but there's nothing they can do about it. They're not big, though. They fit just fine.
Here, you know what? Have a cigarette and we'll...
I just don't understand.
Nikki, you don't have wide feet.
I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. Don't try to make it better. Don't try to change. All right, are you going to talk about the Crocs or not? Because if you can't wear the Crocs shoes, maybe this is another look.
Do you think maybe we should just...
regroup and come back? No, I think you should just get it over with.
Oh, man.
Just talk about it.
You know what? No, let's take some of these texts we're getting right here. All right. Jared says, I feel as far as health goes, we should trust the nurses.
Yes, if they want to wear them.
Angela says that Med OB is mean today. You know what's the real sad part?
He's not.
I ain't taking nothing.
He hasn't taken anything.
Phil says you broke Nikki.
It's true. I don't know why.
Okay, well, you know what? We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about this amazing new product.
Yes, and you're like, why can't I ever wear Crocs? If you can never wear them, this might be a different way you could pull it off.
Andrew says if you want out of the hole, you need to put down the shovel.
Stop digging yourself in there.
That's all right. I'll give Nikki the shovel. Then she can bury me in it.
I was going to say, you want me to dig my own hole that you're digging for me?
I was just going to let you hit me with it.
Want to know what the Riot is doing right now? Follow them on Instagram and Twitter at riot.radiou.com. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Back to this Crocs thing.
We're trying again. So if you can't wear Crocs on your feet, there might be something else you can do.
Let me tell you what. You're not left out. No one here at House Croc, nobody gets left out.
So how about a Croc bag?
They have designed an over-the-shoulder, kind of like a messenger bag.
Like a fanny bag, but one that goes over the shoulder.
And so it's this, it looks like a Croc shoe, and where your foot would go, you just unzip it.
And then you can stick your stuff in it.
You can put your stuff in. And here's the beautiful thing, guys. You know how Crocs have those little things?
The pins?
The little pins in them? You can put those pins in your Croc bag.
Oh, yay. But the thing is, this will sell out. This will make a lot of money.
You think so?
Oh, it will. Just because it has a resurgence. People are wearing them again.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. These things are $300.
$100.
A couple of people are going to wear them ironically. A lot of people are not going to be in on the joke. Then a lot of people are going to start wearing them.
Just buy them, yeah.
And so by buying it ironically, you will be responsible for spreading this. Okay, here's another one.
Well, this style of bag, though, has become very popular.
Sure. And
they went with a label called Pizza Slime. So that kind of has a market. And they designed the bag, and they put it out.
Boy, it's really something. Hey, the other thing, apparently... there was this was 2 years ago. I didn't know this. Crocs made a designer version of the shoe.
Yeah, the platforms.
$800. $850.
Yes, and I think they sold out.
What?
We're not in that world. We're not in that fashion world.
I'm not.
So
you guys know that's true.
So if you were looking for a $300 tiny bag that you would wear in an awkward spot, go ahead.
Would you carry, let's say it wasn't $300, but like the tiny bag craze?
No, I just can't. I can't pull it off. It doesn't match the rest of our T-shirt and hoodie and sliders style, so
sure.
Can't seem to pull it off.
I mean, I see people carrying them, and that's actually how I feel. I'm just like, you know what?
Well, I feel like for a lot of people, even guys, like a bag is a practical thing to carry around. But
absolutely.
I don't know what you could practically put in there unless you really needed like an actual backpack.
Your wallet and your phone?
That's about it.
I have an actual backpack. But like Chris and Eric inspired me. I have like a full-on, like...
You got a travel bag.
Yeah, like this sucker.
It's got compartments.
Yes, many compartments for laptops and gear and stuff, and it's wonderful. I'm so glad I got it.
So this will definitely sell out because it looks like there's only 25 pieces. It's a limited edition.
Oh, come on.
And each bag comes with 7 customized Pizza Slime detachable gibbets, which is the charms that are attached to Crocs. So at that point, there's not many of these at all.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's what's going to happen. Like, you're going to get the knockoffs. They're going to get whatever, and then you're going to be at every mall in America out in the middle of the thing, and they'll have those little game consoles that play 1,000 games.
That are just taking them all.
And these Croc bags and a cover for your phone.
Pretty much, and that's all we can afford. And that's all we can get.
Ever wonder what Nikki is doing when she isn't rioting?
Find her Twitter feed at riot.radiou.com.
Obadiah is there too, but who cares what he's doing?
All right, Nikki, we've got like 3 or 4 more days left in the Steam Lunar Sale for Chinese New Year.
What are you going to get?
I don't know. Here's like honest question.
This is real?
Explore the space with me just a little bit, okay?
All right.
So it's like this. I have a $65 gift card.
To Steam?
Mm-hmm. I acquired this by trading I condoed and took a bunch of stuff to GameStop. And so I've got this gift card.
Proud of you, yeah.
Yeah. High five, everybody. I threw away so much stuff.
And you turned
donated
it in.
and then traded
it. So that works.
I did a lot of different things. So I got this gift card, and it's in my hot little hands.
Yeah.
So I put it into Steam. I got to spend it there. And I can do one of two things. I could buy like 4 or 5 games that I've been curious about for a really long time.
Like older little ones?
Yeah, stuff like that. Or I could spend it all on the plane game that I like so much.
The Ace Combat one, which you could watch Obi play.
You can watch it.
He had a rental with it, which is up through RadioU Riot on Facebook and RadioU for both of our Facebook pages.
Yeah. I mean, knowing that game's going to, like, if I just wait, it's going to get cheaper.
Do you feel like you're crowded with games, though? So if you bought a lot of little games, unless this is a good time.
Sometimes. Well, that's the other hook, is that, like, this is stuff that it'll be $50 in a couple of days, but right now it's $10.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things I kind of don't like. I'm on a thing where I'm like, hey, 1, maybe 2 games at a time. So a lot of times I'll be playing Assassin's Creed, which is, an RPG, and then I'll have a driving game and I'll play that. And I do the same thing with books. And, like, I'll have one book that, like, is my main book, and then I've got, like, my side book, I do that with my dating relationships. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
You went too far. That's no.
But, that's typically what I'll do. I'll have 2 things going and all the different things that I like to do.
Yes.
And then it's like, okay, no more. But I've got this sale, and it's like, okay, do I want to get something knowing that, hey, when this is over,
it goes back up?
Like, I'll go ahead and I'll have this and I can play it and whatever.
It'll probably always go back on sale. So
that's also true, Nikki.
In the future, but then I feel like because you played the Ace Combat, maybe you got it a little out of your system.
Also true, so I
can
could
you
just
sit
wait
and wait it out for it to be cheaper.
Till it gets cheap. I think that's the right answer.
These are deep questions. These are important.
I think that's the right answer.
So maybe go with getting a couple of little ones, but don't spend all your gift card. Just
Hang on to it a little.
Yeah, save it. Only because if you condoed a lot of I know this is digital stuff, so it's not like it's the same. But if you were cleaning out your space, let's not add too much back in, even in the digital world.
That's a good call, Nikki. Yeah, and if you're cleaning out your heart, let's not put too much in there.
We only have so much time.
What are you talking about? Oh, I didn't. I talked to Michael about it yesterday. Friday's my last day. I'm going to be playing games full time.
Because you're suddenly going to be coming into 4 new games that you'll be playing. It's been a good time.
I've come into a gaming fortune, and so I'm gonna. You know how people, they're like, we're gonna live on love. I'm gonna live on Steam.
It'll sustain you for a little bit.
It's fine.
Well,
whatever.
let us know what you pick. So when does the lunar sale end?
I think I've got through Sunday.
Through Sunday?
Yeah, but the weekend's coming, Nikki, so maybe you get a little something to play on the weekend. I didn't
think you were such a planner, but you really are deep down when it comes to these games.
It's dumb.
You're thinking it out a lot.
If I apply, you know what? No, let's not get into it. We're just going to stop.
Okay. Can
we stop now?
Yeah, that's fine.
Can we stop?
And no one's saying it's a bad thing. It's a good thing you're planning with the games.
Well, I have, I think the problem is I don't always have a ton of disposable game income, so I'm like planning it out. Like do it this. And I think that part of my brain needs to shut up and just stop. But the other thing, too, is Nikki and I got to fill hours of talking, so.
Let's take all of the most mind-numbing things the Riot has ever said and play them again.
It's a stupid idea, but I love it.
It's the Riot on RadioU.
So, I have noticed I'm getting ready for the Fight for Air climb, which I'm doing one in Columbus, Ohio. I saw my friend Scott is doing one in Las Vegas. That actually happens in February. Was it maybe it's early March. I'll have to double check, but he's also doing it.
There's different ones throughout the year in different parts of each city.
Yeah, and so his is taller than ours, though. Like I'm doing 40 floors, and I think his is 48 floors.
You go up
something
steps.
like that. Yeah, so you climb the steps of whatever building that it's going to be in, and you're raising money for the American Lung Association. So you get people to sponsor you, whatever. So as a way of getting ready for it, a couple times a week, I get on the stair machine. I feel pretty unprepared. It's next Saturday.
But
I know
always do fine.
Yeah, like it's not like I won't be able to finish it. I just probably won't be setting any personal records as far as climbing the stairs there. But here's the thing that I have noticed is that I'm the only guy that ever gets on the stair machines.
No one else uses it?
There are 3 stair machines at my gym. Like they've got ellipticals and this is and that's and those, but just the straight up like spitting out stairs. No, I didn't say no one ever uses it.
But it's just women?
It's only women.
Uh-huh.
And so I want to know
why.
What's the deal?
I could guess.
Let's hear it.
No,
tell the truth.
I think if you use the stair machine, a part of your body might get
a little
bigger.
perky.
Exactly.
Little lift.
A little lift. So I think it tends to be sometimes women that maybe gravitate towards that and not necessarily guys unless that's what you want to do.
And I am.
But it's also a concern that that's something that can happen if you use it a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I keep having random strangers hit me there. So, I mean, I think it must be pretty good. It's got a good lift, a certain round quality to it.
You've been using the stair machine, so that might be my guess why maybe you don't see as many.
That's what I thought this morning. I was on the stair machine, a woman on each side of me, and I was just like, oh, yeah. That's what this is about.
And Melissa said it's a good cardio and leg workout, so keep doing it.
Oh, dude, it hurts. Like that is not necessarily a fun thing, but it's fun in a way where you're like, oh, I'm so getting a workout. And even the other thing that I think is funny about it is like I'm so hot when I'm done, and I don't mean hot, but like when I'm going out to my car, I've got the windows down. I'm like, it's so freaking hot. Oh my gosh.
Now, Erin texted, says, I see guys using the stair machine at my gym. So she went with that.
Okay,
What's
so
the machine?
look, there's somebody somewhere. There's another man on a stair machine somewhere. That's great.
Have you ever seen the one where it's like a mix between an elliptical and a stair machine?
Yes, I have.
I've seen a lot of guys use that one instead.
Hey, that thing's not easy. I played with that
because
you basically can do whatever you want. You can go up and down. You can take long strides, like just whatever the heck you want to do. You can make it happen. She says Melissa says it's popular with competitors.
Competitors for what?
What kind of? No, seriously, Melissa, you got to text us back. What do you mean by competitors?
For what sort of competition?
Because I'll tell you right now, like I'm a lot of things, but I don't compete very often because I know I can't win.
Could also just be the time. Oh,
bikini competitors. Okay, you're not helping.
Not helping at all.
Okay, so Eric says a ton of guys use them at my gym. Okay,
could be just the time you go.
It could be just the time I go. You're absolutely right. It could, man. There could be guys all over
in line for days.
That are just stair machining for days. At my gym, the guys just stare at the girls that are on the stair machine. That's just the way that works.
It's a gym culture, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. I'll just keep going over there. And, the Fight for Air Club's coming up. And I'll be honest, as soon as that happens...
You never touch the stair machine again.
I won't be on the stair machine again until next January because that'll be it. LOL bodybuilding competition. There's a bikini class. Oh, you know that there is.
Anyway, making it weirder.
Yep. That's what we're here for.
Waking up with the Riot makes your nightmares not seem so bad. Actually, you might want to just go back to sleep. RadioU.
Nikki and I have a tendency to sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes go in for the zombie forms of entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I've never watched an episode of The Walking Dead.
Never.
Ever.
I watched a few in the beginning. I watched the first 2 seasons.
Okay.
But we haven't watched any of the spin-offs or anything.
What about the Korean one?
Not yet. Not yet. I don't know why. It makes sense to watch it. I love Korean shows and I like zombie stuff, so why haven't I watched it?
Mm-hmm.
But that's the Kingdom one that's on Netflix. And it's only 6 episodes, so it's not like I'd be committing to too much, but
It's
just
not a lot.
Just haven't done it yet.
Well, you know what, Nikki? Sometimes it's too much.
It's just too much pressure.
You don't want all that streaming pressure in your life.
That's what I feel like, and I don't know why, but I'll be ready soon, I promise.
Okay, well, here's some then good. Since you're running behind, this is probably good news for you, but remember World War Z?
With Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you ever watch that?
That was the one where they called it not running zombie, like it was
It's like zombie hurricane, zombie tornado.
The zombie like
Wave?
horde or something.
Yeah.
Because it was fast moving zombies.
Like super fast.
Which you had not really seen in a zombie movie before then.
Right.
And so it's supposed to be like extra terrifying.
Yeah, because after a while, the idea of something you can't kill trying to eat you, that's not scary.
But
now
a
you need a
fast
bunch of them.
one-
Then you need a fast one.
In the other zombie stuff, it was always, they're slowly moving towards you.
Right.
They might eventually catch you, but they were slowly coming.
Well, the sequel to World War Z has been shelved. They say they're not canceling it, but we're not going to actively work on it anymore.
I didn't know they were planning on one.
Yeah.
I don't recall it like it did so amazingly well.
It did well enough.
Back then.
That they were like, yeah, why not? We'll make another one. How old is that movie?
10 years, maybe?
Is it that
8
old?
years?
Well, let's see. World
6 years? Higher, lower?
War Z. I don't remember. This is going to show me the book. Here's
I feel
the movie.
like Brad Pitt was younger.
2013.
2013?
6 years. So probably more like 5.5. It was a summer movie. But yeah, I never saw it.
I don't think it's really worth it.
That's how I feel about it.
So I think you're okay.
I did listen. I've said this before, but I listened to the audio drama of it. Or it's really like what do you call it? Like the book, audio book, but it's read by actors, and each different character gets a different actor, but they're kind of vignettes that each tell their stories, and it's horrifying.
Well, not the movie. And as someone who on this show speaks up quite frequently that we don't need a sequel and we don't need things to always come back, I'm with the studio. I don't need a War Z number 2. I don't need a second one. It's fine that was all that we got.
Sometimes you just have to say no, Nikki.
Yes, and I don't care that they said no.
Once again, there just wasn't enough material for Best of the Riot. Actually, there wasn't any Best of the Riot at all. None. 0. Look, it's all bad. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not bad. It's the worst. RadioU.
Okay, I don't really know who this lady is, but she's a Democratic senator named Amy Klobuchar. Or something like that. And so Senator Amy, as we'll be calling her, has been mulling with the idea of announcing a bid for president. And you're going to hear a lot of that. Lots of senators, lots of representatives, they're going to start saying like, hey, I want to be president. And they'll be testing the waters and building exploratory committees and like all this stuff for them to do that.
Do you want to know the truth, though? I feel like this is the time when the people do announce it, and then there comes the why they can't ever run for it because of what they allegedly have done in the past. So it's like this is the real big time of a lot of people's things coming out.
Well, I love this. Okay. According to this particular article, the senator's aides and the people that work for her are saying like, hey, everybody acts like she's super nice, but she's not nice. She's really mean, whatever. But here's the part this is the part I latched onto. Whatever. Everybody, listen, you can have the best boss in the world, and there are still going to be people that are like, they are the worst.
Because they're your boss, and they're
they
telling
made me
you what
work.
to. Yes, exactly.
They're the worst.
But they're saying that she made them do things that maybe weren't a part of the job description.
Here's what I love, that she was demeaning and cruel to her staff. Their words. And one of the ways she was demeaning and cruel is that she forced them to wash dishes.
No.
Now,
not just dishes. They were specific to wash her dishes.
Okay. Now, right there. This is the part that I want to zero in on, okay? Because what are we saying? I feel like we are saying that washing the dishes are demeaning and cruel, like having to do that. Right?
So, okay,
that's what they're
along.
saying. And so, therefore, I believe that every single one of us, most of us at the very least, have got a case to sue our parents for making us wash dishes because it was demeaning and cruel.
If we're following along with that. But I think their point is that it wasn't their job to wash her dishes.
I'm sorry. Like, when I was born into this family, did I suddenly receive a job description that said washing dishes?
It doesn't matter. Your parents probably could have been just fine to do that. It's if you're over 18,
Says
maybe
who?
you're still
Says
back
who?
home. The law.
The law doesn't say it. So your parents can make you wash dishes?
I think it can to a certain point.
Show me that in the law.
Show me it right now.
Right now, Your Honor, I would like for you to please open the law books and show me where it says.
But I think
this is cruel and demeaning.
It'd be harder to fight it if you were, over 18.
Yeah. I mean, well, okay. Sometimes I take out the trash here at Radio U. Cruel and demeaning.
Can't do that.
I'm going to have to stop now.
What if that keeps her from being able to run for the presidency? Just something like, man, the dishes. I made you do these dishes, and that was enough to nope, she can't run. She can't shake that. Maybe
she is a huge jerk. I have absolutely no idea. But I'll have to admit, of all the things that keep coming out about various politicians, this lady making some people wash dishes, it could be a lot worse.
Now, did they say there was other things, though, or was that just one? I couldn't tell if that was one of the examples of them saying she was so mean.
Oh, she said hurtful things, I guess, and made them do personal tasks for her. And I don't know. I didn't dig really far into it.
You just stuck at the dish part?
I just wanted to make a case against parents everywhere. That's what I wanted to do.
Well, you kind of did.
I want to sue the system, and I want to be compensated freely for not doing any work, and, of course, for the pain and suffering that I have endured
during that time.
Yeah. I mean, look at that right there. Cruel and demeaning dishwashing. And again, I'm not trying to make light of anyone's pain. I'm just trying to greater enhance mine so that I can get free money.
The Riot believes in truth, justice, the American way, and high-speed internet. No, faster. Radio U.
Okay, it's kind of a journey, but I want you to go with us. A minute ago, when we were playing For All Eternity, that's got some guttural yelling in it. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to burp in such a way that I was accompanying the yelling.
So the crescendo,
he was like, rah, 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 and I wanted to be like, and burp. And the thing was, it was weak, ineffectual, not a great burp. And then Nikki said to me, hey, could you please not, He's
in front of me.
Could you put your head that way when you burp? It's a courtesy.
Yes, it is.
So,
I think it is.
Yeah, it's fine. I get what you're saying. And that led to me recounting to her a story. One of my favorite people in the world, his name's Nick, and he and I used to live together. And one of my
not news Nick, but another Nick,
different Nick. One of my favorite things in the world to do to Nick was if I had to burp, I would run and find Nick and then burp and blow it in his face.
You would save it.
I would save it.
How could you? Well, I guess you would just.
You just wait. You just wait a little bit. Wait a little bit. Wait a little bit. And the other thing is, you don't always want a really loud burp. You want those, those deep
yes.
the kind that just sound
that almost you worry about the person, something digestive.
Are you okay?
Is wrong.
Are you possessed? And then you just blow in the face. It's one of my favorite things in the world to do. And this is what I've been wondering about. I love to bother people, but I only like to bother people I like.
It's just it's a sign of affection.
Isn't that
weird?
Yes, because I was Googling it. Is that a psychological condition?
Are you worried that's the tip of an iceberg in the bottom? There's a big problem under the water?
I love to annoy people that I really like. If I don't like you, I'm not going to take the time to annoy you. Why would I even care? Which is the opposite of how it should be. I like Nikki. I love to annoy Nikki. I love it.
And then it's hard for me because you feel flattered. We're friends. We have such a great relationship. So people on the outside looking in be like, you must just can't stand to work with this person. But I know where you're coming from.
Right,
so you're burping in my face. And I'm like, just what a good friend. But then I'm asking if you could just
we're buds.
Yeah, hey, that's great. And to other people, they're like, how are you doing this?
There's got to be a word for it, right? I mean, aside from dysfunction. That's the obvious word. You're going straight to that word. Dysfunction is the word. But I think
it goes down to the fact that your humor is in a different layer.
It's a whole different place.
It's a whole different plane. And your humor crosses into real world situations in very weird ways.
Yes, very weird
like
ways.
You laugh when someone's throwing up because you just can't cope, and so you just do that. You just can't stop laughing.
I'm always playing. I'm almost.
You're a child at heart, aren't you?
Well, like I'm almost never, even in the middle of very serious things. Like I am always just like, don't say that.
Don't laugh.
Don't do that. No, not that.
Just who you are.
I know, but like I just feel like it's diagnosable. I feel like
probably
like you and I could go in for family counseling, and everybody
like,
takes.
This grown up gets in my face and burps in my face.
They take turns like passing the stick, so everyone has a chance to talk. And Nikki says things like, "I feel disrespected when Obadiah burps in my face."
No, but I just wonder when you do this, that's the layer I never had anybody else do with me. And I'm just like, no, like he means it and he wants to make sure it gets to you. So when you do that is honestly the layer I don't have from anybody else in my life. And that's the one that worries me the tiniest because I'm like, he's serious about it.
I mean, like, I'll tell you right now, like the way my mind works, like, I can't plan ahead for anything important, but when it comes to bothering somebody, like I could lay plans that are weeks long, just preparing for just the right moment.
Yeah, it's just who you are.
Well, it's not getting me anywhere, but I mean, I've landed here, so this is something.
You might have reached the top of that part, though.
Might be the farthest I can go with it.
Cleveland celebrates failure with a parade. We celebrate failure with the worst of the riots.
Who wants a McDonald's milkshake? Not me. I want some McNuggets, though.
I started to shake my head like, yeah, that sounds pretty good.
You want one?
Maybe. Depends on the flavor.
Okay, what flavor you need?
That's where I have the problem. I don't like strawberry, and sometimes I feel like just a chocolate and vanilla milkshake's too boring.
You need something to spice it up.
But I don't know if they can add anything into the milkshake or not. I think that's their McFlurries.
Well, you know what we're coming up on, Nikki?
Oh, Shamrock Shake?
Those are not good.
No, pass.
That tastes like, to me, a Shamrock Shake just tastes like somebody was like, hey, we have this green chemical. We'll pour it in there. That is a weird flavor, right?
It's a weird flavor, and then it just plays with your mind. So it's a mind game. It's just
Man,
hard.
McDonald's playing mind games with me. I can't take it.
I don't want it messing with my head, so I don't do that.
I do love that. I do love that. So there's a guy, Kenneth Moyer Jr. He is 43 years old, and he claims that he found himself a mouse inside his McDonald's milkshake.
We're just going to say that there has been stories or things said that allegedly, maybe not just McDonald's, but usually if you're going to a fast food restaurant, one of the things that can be the dirtiest is the milkshake and the ice cream stuff.
I mean, the good news
is
he says that the milkshake that he found in there was alive. I'm sorry, the mouse that was in his milkshake was alive, so it wasn't like a dead rat, it was a live one.
How was it living? Didn't it drown in the milkshake? Or?
Well, he said that he's in a friend's car, he's drinking this milkshake. They got 2 milkshakes. He's like drinking it, and he got really annoyed because the straw kept moving.
And that's just where we go. All right.
So he kept jamming the straw, and he finally opened it up, and he was like...
Don't tell us these things.
He says...
Now, see, I would have been like, oh, no, I'd be trying to save the little guy.
He says that he quickly fell ill and was throwing up for the rest of the day.
What did he do with the mouse?
I don't know.
Did he film it?
He's got photos of it. McDonald's is just like, whatever.
Is it this poor little mouse with like a little milkshake coating on his thing? Can you send me the pictures? I want to see it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. But like,
this feels like the what was that story years ago? Where was it? Wendy's? The one was it the chili one? It wasn't the thumb one, but it was the one where they found that the animal that was like a little rodent or maybe a mouse, and they did testing on it and found that it didn't have any of the stuff in its lungs. So it hadn't died in the stuff. It had been planted and put in. So I know sometimes these restaurants, they'll not just be like, oh yeah, I'm sure it got in there. Like they would fight that.
So McDonald's is just like, whatever. They're saying like, hey, show us the video.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got pics. And they're like, we want video.
Yeah, you would, and if that's where it's hard to believe people. If I had found a mouse, man, I'd be recording the whole thing right then and there.
Well, the co-owner of this particular franchise says, although we do not typically comment about pending litigation, we can confidently and adamantly state that the implications made in the complaint are wildly fabricated and false.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing you'd find a live one in there.
Yeah, dude.
Aw, poor guy. The poor mouse is like, what am I doing here? Why'd you put me in the milkshake? What? Are you stop making that is worse. I'm turning off your noises.
What?
That's worse.
Nikki, listen, it is our moral imperative to recreate the experience.
What? It's a lie, though, probably.
We don't know that.
Here it is. Hey, bring me the mouse. Okay, get the lid off. Put it in. There, that was the experience.
You think that was it?
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's scary. So then what happened?
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
Just stare at the girls that are on the stair machine.